Have you ever felt outside or that you didn't fit into society? Has it always been that way? You can do something about it. Emotions are the body's information carrier that raises awareness of myself if I'm open to it. We have all had influences in one way or another, and the feeling of not fitting in indicates just that what I feel is actually right. Perhaps not in the drastic way I think, through my analysis of the thought and limited beliefs. It may be thoughts like, why can't I be different? Or it must be something wrong with me, or I'm not good enough, and so on. The more I ponder, the further away from the truth I come, the truth about myself. Albert Einstein said, "Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid." To know who I am, I need to find what gives me the energy of life, and the joy, and the balance. I need to find my real purpose in life so that I can live as I learn. I need to listen to my primary needs as regards diet, sleep, closeness, and love. I need to express my feelings openly and honestly. When I do not know who I am, it is easy for me to follow the path of others instead of my own. And that results in the feeling of not fitting in. Just like a seed for the wind that can't find anywhere to take root. When I understand the origin and real function of emotions, I become aware of what a valuable tool it is. There are genuine emotions and manipulated emotions. It means that real emotions are functional and about the present, while the manipulated emotions are dysfunctional and relate to the past. There are often old depressing feelings that mislead rather than relieve. The experience is anxiety or fear of various kinds. To get it undone, I must understand the origin of knowing the reason for where this emotion founded from the beginning. Many times it can be layers of emotions on this emotion that messes up things for me in the present. For example, when I overreact to something without understanding why, that leaves me with a feeling of shame that becomes another layer of emotion. Emotions that I shut down for some reason turns into shadows that constantly follow me. You can't run away from your own shadow. The only thing that makes it disappear is to illuminate it. Only then can I see that the shadow was just an illusion that scared me for a while. The difference between emotions and feelings are that emotion event in our environment, and feelings are the processing of emotions. There are two types of emotions: primary and secondary emotions. The primary emotions develop during our first year of life, and that is sadness, joy, anger, and fear. The secondary emotions develop later and can be described as moral emotions, such as moral self-awareness. And that is jealousy, shame, depth, and pride. The secondary emotions springs from the ethic and morals of society, the rules and norms that come from the survival strategies of our history. It can spring from the fear of loneliness or not fitting in or to be abandoned. The natural and basic emotions overlapped with these secondary emotions makes it harder to find the right feeling. It creates confusion. An example of this may be when a child becomes laughed at every time it becomes sad, or beaten every time it expresses its own will or anger. The experience of the natural emotions then gets disturbed by discomfort or suffering. The child then associates being sad with shame and being angry or express its own will with guilt or danger. And the child begins to do everything possible to avoid these emotions in the future. As it emerges, the mind interprets it as danger, and the child escapes the emotion through survival strategies it has found to protect itself with. It can be to stuff down the natural feeling of sorrow, for example, or anger. The sorrow then turns to anger toward itself, and a self-destructive behavior starts to take form into victimhood. Or the child turns the anger on to the world, and it starts to project its feelings of anger towards society or upon other people instead, and which the child often carries with it into adulthood, where it turns into either a victim or a perpetrator. Feelings can sometimes be overwhelming when we are not in touch with the truth. To get out of the confusion, I need to let go of secondary learning. I need to get rid of this program. I can discover it as old programming that is no longer functional in my life. To become aware of it, I can begin to question what kind of emotion emerges when, for example, I'm faced with a significant decision or find myself in a conflict or meet the successes of other people or my own success, or when I meet authorities in my life, and so on. I would then probably find a bunch of limited beliefs that is still running the show. In this way, I can get to know myself and which emotions that dominates me. This in turn gives me more clarity on my primary needs, but above all, it gives me a clue about my unlimited potential as well. If I simplify it all, there are only two guiding feelings. The first one is love, and the second one is fear. And fear is only the lack of love. When I understand that what I do, say, and believe about myself is either founded in love or in fear, it brings awareness of that I really have choice here. I can continue as I have always done, or I can stop and reflect on who I am, or where I'm going and why. Because it really does count as important in my life, because without it, I am just a puppet on the string. The truth is always within ourselves. And if I don't go within myself, I go without myself.